Today's guest is Alicia K. Swan. She's a serial entrepreneur known for founding various successful ventures under the Myrna Lisa's brand, including professional services, disposables and cleaning, pageants and entertainment, VIP concierge, and soon to launch vehicle rentals and maintenance services. She is also involved in community organizations and initiatives including Sisters Let's Talk, Modoc TCI, and Stormwatch TCI. Alicia's journey from teenage motherhood to becoming the youngest general manager in Turks and Caicos history reflects her resilience and determination. Throughout her career, she has excelled in various roles in the hospitality industry, government, and private sector, demonstrating her leadership and entrepreneurial spirit. Alicia is deeply committed to giving back to her community through her nonprofit organization, Guiding Light NPO, focusing on education, mental health, and food banks. She is also actively involved in mentoring youth and advocating for social causes while continuously striving to make a positive impact on her community. Let's welcome Alicia Swan to Pathways to Success.
Welcome to Pathway to Success. I'm your host, Dr. Michael Hunter, and we have the much achieved Alicia Swan. I like her name, Alicia Swan.
Thank you.
The name so
Thank you so very much.
Sound like a star or a ballet dancer or movies. That's so. I love the name. I love the name.
Thank you.
It's,
Yes, I cannot take credit for it though. That's my parents. All of that. That's them.
well, they did a great job. I want to tell you,
Yes.
I like the combination of the name. They did a great job. But it's great. We're looking forward to have a great interview with you today on Pathway to Success on this evening. Can you share with us the story behind your journey from teenage motherhood to becoming the youngest, and I must say, congratulations, general manager in Turks and Caicos history?
Thank you very much. And again, thank you for having me. I am so honored and humbled to be able to be in this space to share what God has been doing in my life to present and what's coming for future. My journey from being a teenage mother to being the first or the youngest to this day general manager in Turks and Caicos, I always say every aspect of my life has always been divine grace of God, because there's always someone else who could have been in the positions that I have. So I'm very mindful to take no credit for my life and give it all to the Lord. Yes, I was in my last year of high school, very good student, A student, on my way, supposed to be to a scholarship for teachers to become a teacher. And I got pregnant having my first son. However, there is something that the owner of the hotel saw in me in South Caicos. He's deceased now, Mr. Albert Ganaway, but he's an American gentleman. He was an American gentleman who owned the only hotel in South Caicos. And I worked for him for a period of time. And he tended to have meetings at very odd hours. He used to have meetings at 3 o'clock in the morning. So you can imagine being 17 years old and your phone is ringing and it's the owner of the hotel that you're working with. Yes, that's usually his time that he normally would have a meeting. And he said to me, "I want you to run the hotel." And I was like,
hold on,
okay.
At the age of 17,
17.
He wanted you to run
Yes.
the hotel. That means
Absolutely.
That means I mean you are really what you were generating at the time and showing it was great maturity and great excellence in how you were executing your duties.
Yes, yes. And I mentioned it to my father, and he said to me, "What do you know about running a hotel? You're only 17 years old." So he's seeing his baby. But I always say that, and I will always say, as long as I have breath in my body, God's plan for my life was something that has already been scripted out. And to this day, it's only a matter of me obeying to his will that he can orchestrate for each journey of my life for a particular purpose. And so everything, when I look back at my life to this point, I smile many times to see how far he's brought me through his grace, his guidance. And I am grateful for being obedient even when I had questions myself as being human. Of course, at 17, I questioned a little bit, can I do this? But I knew there was something in me that says, you can and you will. And I did. And I did a very good job at it. My team and I got along extremely well. We grew together. And even when working with the government with taxes and so forth, accommodation tax and those sorts of things, it was like everyone was there just helping me, making sure that I was successful. I vividly remember the lady in government the first time I went through my books for the monthly statements and so forth. And she guided me through it. And she was like, you did an excellent job. And it was easy after that. I think it's because I always knew from a little girl, I always just had the saying that life is too short. And my mom always said to me, what do you know about life being too short? You're only a child. But I always knew that there was something that needs to be done. And we are given a time frame. Even if we live to be over 100, each moment, each day, each second must count for something. And there's a divine purpose in everything that we do. And so that is how I started and became the first and only to present youngest general manager in the Turks and Caicos at the age of 17.
Wow, congratulations. That's amazing. At the age of 17, you became a celebrity. You became a great success story. I'm sure you had many suitors, people running, um, wanting men, of course, wanting to be with you because, of course, any man that has as good eyesight can see that you're beautiful. Then your
Oh, thank you.
early age, I'm sure brought all of that. How did you
Yes.
handle that early rise of fame? You became an historian at the age of 70. How do you handle all of that? And I'm sure jealousy came with it too.
Yes. Oh, yes. Of course, all of that comes with it, but it helps you to maneuver through life. You don't run away from the fact that you have a particular season in your life and it also is attached to age. As mentioned, I was a mother at 17, so I was already with someone at that time who's the father of all of my children. And I always said, because we were friends first, I always had the belief if I'm with someone, that will be the person I am with for my entire life. There's no other way. And throughout the years, I've had many persons would walk up to me, even today's date, and would remind me that they recall when I was dating my children's father, that they liked me a lot, but I never gave any attention to anyone else because I saw no one else. I
Well,
didn't see the need for anyone else. I had my child, I had a relationship, I wasn't looking elsewhere. So if there were persons who who are interested in me, but that was never my focus up to this day. Even now, I still have that, but I've always been focused on the mission of my life. I don't know if that makes a lot of sense to a lot of people, but I am so deeply rooted that knowing that I have a strong purpose on my life. Many times I think to myself, becoming in a relationship right now can interfere with my intuition and my relationship with God and where He's guiding me. Not saying that that is not a part of life that I would explore, but at this point in the path that I am going, I feel like there's a way higher calling and I feel a weight that I have on me where I am supposed to do certain things within my lifetime. And only way I can accomplish that if I stay focused. And I'm very happy with my life.
I'm happy about that. And it shows the type of woman that you are, how structured you are, you believe in your relationship, and you kept that going. You're not a frivolous girl trying to, go from here to here. And that shows capability. but also that's the hallmark of someone who has success, because only
Thank
people
you.
that are stable and grounded will always rise to success. People who are all over the place can never become successful, you know.
Absolutely.
So
Yes.
I want to celebrate you on that as a man to a woman. That's good.
Ah, thank you so much. Humbled.
But
Thank
what
you.
inspired you also to found various successful ventures under the Mina Lisa brand, ranging from
The
professional services to entertainment?
very brilliant question. And it's a very
Thank you.
personal,
Thank you.
yes. And the whole idea behind the name, Myrna is the name of my mother.
Yeah.
She transitioned to glory in 2021. And for some reason, I knew from 2018 I needed to start something that attached her name to me. And growing up in South Caicos, the island that I grew up in and where I'm from, Lisa is the nickname that everyone knows me as. So
I
many years, I grew up with Myrna Lisa. Most people in
love that.
home would call me Myrna Lisa. And I am my mother's only child as well. So it was very, it was very unique, and it also is very personal. And so I told my mother that I was starting a business. My very first one was the professional services. And I told her that I am naming the business in honor of her. And to this day, I am so grateful that I had the opportunity to do that and for her to see the legacy of her daughter to a certain extent on earth. And I totally believe that she's still looking down on me in a greater being, because she can be everywhere now versus
Right.
being in one location. So she's with me all the time, and she's watching me bloom into what she prayed for. There has been a lot of prayers that's been covering me all my life. My mother was a prayer warrior. And so I know a lot of what I've gathered and what I've been able to achieve is through the many prayers of my father, my mother, my grandmothers, my dad's mother. Whenever I visited when she was living in Grand Turk, she currently lives with my aunt in the US. But whenever I visit Grand Turk and she's there, and at my father's house, I would wake up through the night and she's praying over me. She's in my room and she has a Bible and she's anointing me throughout the night and she's covering me. And so I believe that also gives me the motivation, the courage, and determination to know that I am guided, I am protected, and I am able to do all that God has called me to do.
Wow. You know, nothing like a praying mother. It sets you apart on a path of success. It sets you on a path
Yes.
also of protection, and it sets you on
Yes.
a path to excel. And I believe that Myrna is looking over the balcony of heaven, so proud of you right now,
Oh,
cheering,
yes.
cheering you on from the
Definitely.
balcony of heaven.
Oh,
And I
yes.
like how you combine both of them, Myrna, Lisa. That's so unique. The name sounds so
Yes.
well, and it shows the great. You're a genius. The mind of a genius
Thank you so
that you
much.
have. You know, but you also balance roles as a serial entrepreneur, community organizer, and
Yes.
advocate for social causes. Tell us a little bit about that.
Again, take no credit because my father and my mother always said, "Ah, you must be exhausted. You must be tired. You're doing so much. You're not resting." So, my thing to them always was that I have been given the strength to do it. And it's not from my own. It's, as I mentioned, my life has always been focused on purpose. And so I believe strongly that there is everything that I am involved in, it has already been orchestrated by God and has already been assigned to me. And so I take those roles extremely serious because it's not about me. It's just that he decided to use me for these various roles. And what makes me continue to have the motivation to keep doing what I'm doing is the lives that I see I touch. When I can see someone come to me individually and I don't have to share all the time that, this one says this to me or what have you, But out of the blue, when you have that single mother who says, I remember the job that you helped me to get, and I'm still on that job, and I want you to know that I'm doing well on the job, or the young man or someone that you've touched their life in a positive way, it makes me realize that is all purpose towards everything that I do. Now, with my purpose in terms of my business ventures, it's all a part of me. It's all the things that I love doing. And so it doesn't feel like I'm working. It's just doing what I love to do and having the benefit of being able to make a living from it. When it comes to my social, civic duties, it is our duty. It's like, to me, if you have a plant without soil in the sun, it can't grow. And so we have to set the roots of our lives in the earth because that is what we're supposed to do. I don't foresee it as something to say, boast about. It's just my civic duty to assist in various areas and to give of myself and of service.
Wow, I like that. Wow, so well put, so well organized, so well structured. I like that. Um, we're going to take a short break on Pathway to Success with Alicia Swan, and we're going to return right back.
Thank you.
Did you pick out this detergent all by yourself? So cute.
It's half the size and it's half the plastic. And there's nothing cute about unnecessary plastic. Christy, the average person generates over 200 pounds of plastic a year. And there are 329 million of us in the US alone.
Do you want paper or paper? Yeah.
7th generation Easy Dose laundry detergent. Half the size, half the plastic, all the clean.
So where were we?
The playoff.
Oh, yes. Only a handful of teams remained, hailing from kingdoms far and wide across the college football land, all vying for a spot in the playoffs. Each team led by a great coach, fearless players, and defended by the loyalest of fans. Soon, they would take part in an epic playoff battle for the right to call themselves national champions. And to the victor go the spoils, a beautiful trophy, a grand celebration, and bragging rights that stand the test of time.
And then what happened?
We'll find out soon.
Ready? All clear. Come on out.
Chewie.
You know what's going on?
This ship is now under the command of the First Order.
Live your Star Wars story in a new 2-night adventure.
You know what I've come for.
Only at Walt Disney World Resort.
Welcome back to Pathway to Success. I'm your host, Dr. Michael Under, with a well-industrious, well-achieved, very successful Alicia Swan, a historian really who have created history in the beautiful island of the Turks and Caicos Island. I'm looking forward to visit there this year. I think I keep saying one day. But
That is a must. That is a must.
you
You
need
must
to
have.
invite me over and show me the
Oh,
beautiful island.
I will invite you right now in front of all the audience. We are
Okay.
visiting Turks and Caicos Islands, and it's on record.
It's on record. I like that. Now it's on
Yes,
record. It's official. Everybody's heard
officially.
the invitation that I got from her. So I will just
Yes.
have to talk to her after which time I'm coming in and what's the best time to come. As a matter of fact, what's the best time to visit your beautiful island? For tourists, people who want to come and experience the beauty of the island and the people.
The island is somewhere, we're actually at a place now that any time is a good time. It all a matter of what you like to do. You know, we have visitors who comes down, as per most places during the winter, from Northern America, Canada, elsewhere. When it becomes colder, you would find them, you know, November straight through to March. But I would say anytime is great. It all depends on what you love to do, which we will discuss after the interview, and we'll
Okay.
decide when will be the best time for you.
Okay. I'm looking
We'll
forward
make
to
it
that.
personal. Yes.
She's Mrs. Turks and Caicos. You will be the right person to do the Miss Universe pageant for them to be a Miss.
Oh, wow.
I'm telling you, you'd be the ideal person. I'm sitting here and saying she'd be the ideal person to do that for the Turks Island. I guess I need to speak to Mr. J. Saunders or the premier.
Honorable Josephine Connolly. Well, you're almost touching something because I don't always tell everything until it's actually in, everything is already prepared. But there is something brewing. There is something brewing. I'll say
I'm
that.
happy. I'm happy
Yes.
because you'll be the right person to represent that nation well and
Thank
and,
you.
and, and, and make the nation really, really extremely proud. You
Thank you
know?
so very much. I should also mention, being that you're touching on the pageantry,
Yeah.
our first pageant, which is Teen Miss and Teen One Nation TCI, is going to be held this year in the 25th and 26th of April,
Yeah.
and it is it is geared towards sisterhood, empowerment, unity, and community service. And so each of the contestants, they have to be involved in some sort of community service. And
Wow.
how we tied it in, the way we tied it in is with the nonprofit organization, Family NPO, Myrna Lisa's Guiding Light, my mom being our guide, is that we have three fundamental areas, which is food banks, mental health, and education. And so the contestants were able to select one of those that resonates most to them. And they will have to work in one of those areas, creating something unique in one of those areas. They all showed passion in those areas, so we're going to be very excited to see what they come up with that. I should also make mention that the One Nation TCI derived from the idea of inclusiveness. Turks and Caicos is a very small island. We have about 9,000, 10,000 registered residents. However, we have a very diverse community. And so we have persons from every walk of life. I would say we have about 20 plus nationalities in the Turks and Caicos.
Wow.
Yes. However, we have some nationalities that stands out a lot. And so our young ladies, we have about 8 nationalities for our very first pageant, which I'm very proud and happy of. And so the idea is that they'll represent Turks and Caicos or Turks and Caicos and another country, and which of their heritage. So we have Turks and Caicos, Haiti, Turks and Caicos, Dominican Republic, Turks and Caicos, Trinidad and Tobago, and so on. And so this way, as I said to the ladies, the contestants, I want you all to be proud of your heritages. Turks and Caicos, yes, this is our home, but you also have a part of you that is unique to Turks and Caicos, your other heritage, where your mother or your father, your grandparents, something that is enrooted in you that you may not always have an opportunity to explore or celebrate the way that you wish to. And so we're giving you a platform to do just that. You are just as important as any other Turks and Caicos Islander, and you will have center stage to show yourself and represent the entirety of who you are and who made you the person that you are today. Because there's no way of running away from it. There's no country, the same as they said that there's no man that is an island. It's the same thing as a country. There's not one nationality that makes us who we are. We are a blended country, a melting pot, and we must be able to embrace each nationality and also appreciate the contributions that they make to make us who we are. And so I thought about it and I said one of two ways to me that gravitates most persons is music. It's all in the Bible, and beauty. And
Yes.
so those are two very powerful areas. If you can gravitate to anything, you can think of a song that made you feel happy or sad or romantic or what have you. And you'll always have someone, a beautiful person in your eyes that you will never forget. And so this is the idea where the beauty comes in, where we can come together as a unified Turks and Caicos, cheering on each nationality in a positive light, in a positive space, and embracing who we are as a people.
Wow, that I've never heard about a beauty pageant like that before, and I like the criteria, and especially you're using persons from different um, nations who came come there now residing there. That's different.
Yes.
That's unique, and I need to fly in April because I've always said I wanted to. I
Yes.
always dreamed of judging a beauty contest or
I
something
would
like
love to have you
that.
visit.
Well, I mean, Alicia, you
That.
need to have me over there. I need to come over and be a
Oh,
part
we
of
need to
that.
talk.
I'd
We
love
will
to be.
talk.
I'd love to be a part of that.
We
I'd
will
love to
definitely
be.
be talking. And I
We'll
am
be
even
talking.
more proud. I'm even more proud with the community aspect of it to
Yes.
get the young ladies out there and be able to contribute. I want basically everything that I do is bits of my own life.
Yeah.
And so, because I do so much in the community and anyone that I have to guide, I want to gravitate them into the same direction somewhat and
I
in
love
some area. And so they are able to work within the community. Some of them may be shy at the moment, but by the time that they're through and the benefits of being self fulfilled, that you did something in your community, that's priceless. It will carry you through your life. And in addition to that, we have already secured a franchise, and that's why I know this is a blessed venture. We've already secured a franchise where our teen queen will be competing in St. Kitts for the
Wow.
Turks and Caicos for the very
That's
first
great.
time. Yes. And we are working on a franchise completing the agreements now for our Miss to also represent regionally Turks and Caicos. So there is not just that they will win a pageant this year and you see them maybe next year. No, these young ladies will have the exposure. They will be able to take brand Turks and Caicos outside of the Turks and Caicos, as well as working within our communities.
Wow, what a great visionary you are. I'm tremendously impressed and blown away by your vision and what you've
Thank
put in.
you.
They should give you the order of distinction. Uh,
Oh, wow.
do they give that in their island? Do they give those awards to people who are extremely distinguished and will make their nation proud?
Definitely do have National Heroes Day. And yes, that is something that we do. There's a number of different areas in government that celebrates accomplished or achieved individuals in our country. Yes.
Okay, I like that. Could you share some of the challenges, though, with all that you have achieved, you have faced throughout your entrepreneurial journey, and how you overcame them?
Challenges, I would say that most entrepreneurs in Turks and Caicos may face, especially in starting off in small businesses, is that you're competing with larger businesses. You're
Right.
competing with businesses that are already established. And so we have to go through the same processes as a mega business. For example, the fees that are attached to run a organization legally and successfully. such as business licenses, insurances that needs to be paid, and alike, things like that. So that is one of the challenges that has been faced, but I use the word challenge very loosely because I find it as areas of opportunity. I think it's more about the mindset as you look at things. And so challenges, yes, but areas of opportunity resonates to me more. And so it's a matter of how you perceive everything, because we have to understand the psychological aspect of who we are as human beings. What we feed, it's like any sort of a computer, input, output. And
Right.
so if we use certain words or terms, mentally we will gravitate to it and it will be reflected on our outcome of various things. And for me, yes, those are some of the things that we had to face. One of the other things I would say is finding proper assistance when it comes to staffing. That can also be a challenge because we may sometimes require to have someone that is a work permit holder. And so there are other fees that are attached to do so, and you have to prove the likeliness of having the need. So sometimes you may find that there is a little gap of saying that, yes, I need this person, and it's being perceived that you do or you do not. So that can also be a little tricky here and there as well.
Wow. As someone that is deeply involved in the hospitality industry, you're involved in government, private sector, how do you leverage your experiences and expertise across these sectors?
Everything that I do is individualized. I wear many hats
Right.
and I love every one of them. And
I love
I
that. I
do.
love that.
I love every one of them. I am, as mentioned, humbled that God has graced me because even when I have employees, when I worked in the hospitality industry, one of my past employees would always, up to this day, she always says to me, Alicia, you always told me that we have to embrace the time that we have at this moment because we're not going to get it again while we're preparing for the next moment. And so that is how I perceive everything. I will not get this moment in time with you in this speech ever again. And so in the moment, when I am an entrepreneur, I give it my all. When I am in a civic role, I give that my all. When I am the role of mother, which is always, I
Right.
have to give that my all as well. And so everything that I do, it is not cumbersome to say that I place it all in one box. What beautiful life it is when you can have multiple boxes that you can grab out of this one and there's something there and it's something else somewhere else. And so that is the way I see it. Everything that I do comes with the same level of energy because they're all different, they're all important, they're all unique, and they're all needed. And so I wear the many hats very well, and I love all the hats and the variety of hats that I wear.
She has such a, oh my God. It's like I'm watching, it's like I'm doing an interview with a Miss Universe. The way
Oh,
she answers the questions. One of the most brilliant, I mean, I'm the most excited guest that I've
oh,
interviewed
thank
on
you.
Pathway to Success. And the way you speak with such joy with what you do, not many people enjoy what they do.
That
But
is true.
you can see
That is
that
true.
enjoyment, there's excitement about what you do. And I
May
like,
I say something right
yeah,
there? Because I have been prompted in the spirit when you said that.
yeah,
It is so true. And I find it to be something that it's a path that persons like myself, and I'm sure I am not the only person in life that has this sort of attitude towards life. I believe that we all have to understand our individual purposes. Some are there to be a guiding light to help someone in the darkness to bring them into the light.
yeah,
We cannot be, and when it's like that, you have to understand that you may not always be someone that can always be in the crowd, for say, because you have to in tune with God, you have to listen to his voice. And the interruptions and so forth sometimes can distract you because there's so many things to distract us in life. But I believe that every single person has a purpose in life. And whatever your purpose is, take time to avoid the noise in the market and focus on the still voice that is within you that is telling you, this may not seem possible, but if you trust me, I am there to do the impossible. Why I say that is because we are all created equally. We are all created by the same God, and we all have the same God spiritual being within us that needs to be ignited. And so for some of us, it is easy to do that by ourselves. And if you find that you need someone to hold your hand, you find someone, you seek that person to hold your hand and to help you guide you into the light of where you ought to be. I would not want anyone in my path to not be able to come to the full fruition of why they are here and what is their purpose. And I take that another role extremely serious.
Wow, I like that. Great motive. You sound like a great motivational speaker. I almost said preacher, but you also sound like somebody who would be a very good pastor in a church, Alicia.
My mother would be very happy, I'm sure.
I'm, 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 su- I'm sure that will be arranged after after the program. After the program, I'm sure that will be arranged right there at the pathway to success with you. Oh my word! But strategies, you're a strategist. You're a very brilliant person, entrepreneur,
Thank you.
business. What are the strategies do you employ to foster innovation? Stay ahead in industries such as disposables and cleaning, pageants, entertainment, VIP tonnage, and also vehicle rentals and maintenance services. How do you strategize and
That is the thing. I always say we always try to find an earthly strategy, an earthly guide, an earthly blueprint. And that is where many of us make the mistake. The strategy is very, very simple. It's all about trusting what God has instilled in you to do. He is the ultimate, He has the blueprint. He knows what needs to be done. Sometimes it seems scary. It seems like, people are going to say this or people are going to think that. And that is where we lose the focus. That is where we detach ourselves from where we have to go. My strategy has and always will be trusting my inner instinct where my spiritual man is intact and I keep focus with God. Before I do anything, I pray about it. Before I came on the show, I say, God, let your light be shined through me. Let people see what you have done, not me. Let this be about you because I'm only a vessel. That's all I am. I'm nothing more than a vessel. And so we have to be grounded in knowing that we have absolutely no right to anything unless God has placed us to do it. And I believe that is why I'm so confident in what I do, is because my focus, and God knows our heart more than man.
Right.
He knows he could have entrusted me with all of this because every bit that he entrusted me with, I gave him the glory. It's not mine to have. And so the strategy has to be where God is leading us. It's as simple as that. There's no other way.
Wow, I like that. How do you approach mentorship and what advice do you have for aspiring entrepreneurs, especially those who are facing similar challenges that you once had in your life?
The very first thing you have to do is actually start.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's the very first step. You have to be able to start. And you have to trust what has been placed in you. That is sometimes the scariest thing because we always hear people speak about faith. I have faith. I have faith. But you only can know how deep your faith is when you find yourself at a position where it's either do or die, or you feel as if there's no way out, and you have no other option but to trust God to see you through it. Every aspect of my life, there has been challenges. There has been things that came my way to say, don't do it yet. Wait a while, wait a little bit longer, maybe not do it at all. You never know the outcome. You never know if it's going to be successful. But I always say, embrace failure as much as you embrace success, because it comes hand in hand. You're not going to automatically be successful in anything you do. If you do, there's no wins to that, because you don't understand what it is to get a little bruise and get up and clean yourself up and do it better next time. So, mentorship to me, I would say, in terms of mentorship, seek something individually that you are passionate about. I am passionate about people in general,
Yeah.
but more so, I am very passionate about youth and women. I do also mentor in terms of men, but as you mentioned, sometimes they get across that it's mentorship and not nothing more I'm looking for. So, so
Oh.
yes.
I think she should get into politics too. A political
Yes.
leader. I think that's
Yeah.
another.
So
I think that's another calling for you right there.
we're tapping into
So
some
many
things,
hats.
we have to talk off.
So many hats.
You
So
are
many hats.
definitely a man of God and you are being guided. I'll say that. And that's on the record as well. Yes.
Well, we're going to talk
Yes.
after we finish this excited interview. We're coming down to the end. We're going to talk. We're going to have another talk off the air.
Absolutely.
We're looking forward
Absolutely.
for that. But
Yes.
you speak. You have such a strong faith in God while navigating challenges and successes of entrepreneurship and community leadership. But what impact do you hope to make through your advocacy for social causes, both locally and beyond?
I want to be known as someone, and I go back to it again, someone who understood the purpose that is on their life and understand that there's nothing that we do within our own strength. If anything else, I want it to be known that we have absolutely no right to anything that we have been gifted or provided. It is all the grace of God. Because there's always the next person or the other person or the person else who could have been chosen. And so, if anything, I want to be known to say, have faith in God and don't just say it, live it. Let your life shine and let it be known that people can see that it's not just talks, but in every aspect that you do, that God is involved in it. And so in my advocacy, that is what I want to be known for, as a woman of strong faith, a woman who has taken up challenges, and there has been many times that I could have given up, but I couldn't give up because I knew that there was more that I need to do. And before I leave this earth, there is absolutely a journey that I must take, and an impact that I'm making around the world, even now, is the fruits of my faith in God. I am not always, we're not a perfect being. Humans are not made to be perfect. But the whole point is that I know where I stand with my faith, and that is my driving force. And I don't even play with that because I know within myself that that is what's my guiding force. When things are going bad, I have to pray. When things are going good, I have to pray and thank Him. And so there's no aspect of my life that I cannot think that my prayer life and my faith is what navigates me through life.
Finally, Alicia, how do you define success? And what legacy do you hope to leave through your work and contribution to society?
I believe success is when you come out of your comfort zone and you do something that makes you individually proud. Others will see it. Others will embrace it. But success is something internally. It has to be something that you yourself are happy about. I'll give an example. My very first time in politics, I I have been in politics.
Oh, you have?
I
Wow.
Yes. Yes.
Really?
And so Last election here in my country, I ran as an independent candidate, which made me one of two women in our country history to have ever took the plunge of running as an independent candidate. And my success to that was not what others may have expected me wanting to see. Yes, we all want to be able to be in parliament once we're in politics and to represent our people. But even though I was not successful in that general election towards the mega parties that has been established for 40 plus years, my success was my mother was able to live to see her daughter do something like that. My father was able to see that and tell me how proud they were. My father assisted with getting my billboards in Grand Turk put up. My children were proud to see their mother step up. Young women could see this is a woman putting herself out there. That is success.
Yes,
And in
yes.
addition to that, the causes that I ran on in terms of mental health, education, and so on and so like in unity, it is all being played out in my life every single day. And so while you may have some that may have a lingo to say, okay, I'm going to run an election based on this, and sometimes it never comes to fruition, I have been successful not in the general elections, but I have been successful with my life journey in doing everything that I have said that I wanted to do and still doing. So it was success. So you have to look at success in an individual standpoint and not what everyone else sees it as.
Wow. You've heard it from the best. Woman of great wisdom, a woman who have achieved so much, an historian who have created, and I must say congratulations in you stepping forward to run as an independent candidate in that
Thank
beautiful
you.
time. You are first in everything. I lost her feed right there. I don't know what happened, but you've heard it from a very, 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 very successful Alicia Swan, who have lost her feed right there with her on pathway to success today. I know that many who have, I hope that those who watch us today was inspired by Miss Alicia Swan's story of success. You can do all things, the word says, through Christ that strengtheneth you. In each and every one of us, in each and every one of you, you are a winner. There's a winner on the inside of you. But what you need to do is believe in yourself and step out. No matter what people may think, people views doesn't matter. A successor, a person who's geared to success, views of others doesn't matter. Because most of the time, the persons whose views you listen to, you'll never get started. But I want you to start out on whatever goal that you have been inspired to start on and maintain it and be consistent, and you'll enjoy success. Have a great week and a success week from us here at Pathway to Success.